You won't stop eating food altogether just because you ate a sandwich that gave you a tummy ache. So it falls along those lines. In regards to things as overindulgence and hypocrisy, it falls back to some people not knowing about the Sunnah, and they find themselves doing things that are contrary to the Islamic faith without even knowing that it's wrong, and yet they profess the religion of Islam. And you will find that there are some people, their overindulgence, it really makes the religion look bad, but the people need to know that this is the disease of a single individual, or only some people, not Muslims as a whole. These aspects must be clarified. For example, for some people or some individuals, that you will see that gluttony tends to be a problem. Some people, they don't know when to stop buying. They don't know when to stop eating. Other people need to see that, look, this is a type of psychological phenomenon that affects more than just Muslims. Look at my country, for example. We are about 1% of the world's population, and yet more than 70% of us are obese. But we cannot say every American is an obese, overeating, greedy person. We know that's not the case. So we shouldn't base a single bad fact on everyone. The same way they shouldn't do that to us. And the only way I see to combat this is for aggressive propagation.
Okay. Have you tried to convince your friends or your parents, or at least to let them read books about Islam? Can you mention some examples?
Okay. For my parents, not so easy. I already tried with my mother. I love her so much. And every time she would just tell me, you were born yesterday. And it's so hard for many parents to take the religion from their children sometimes, because in a way I'm telling them what you taught me was wrong, and they don't want to take it or see it as that. As for my friends, alhamdulillah, some of them did become Muslim. Some of them did become Muslim. MashaAllah, some of them are quite strong Muslims.
Did you give them some books, or at least have conversation with them? Or
many times we had very deep conversations. Very deep conversations. Oftentimes we would sit down.
Specific points, for example,
death. We used to sit down, just wonder, how are we going to die? Are we going to make it to the age of 20? We used to sit down and wonder these things. Is someone going to kill us? Are we going to be sent to a war? Or how are we going to die? And what's going to happen afterwards? And if we do die, how are we going to prepare ourselves? What will be the consequences? If we don't, we only have one chance to get it right. And this one thing was the key that made some of my friends come back to Islam. This one thing, the fact that we only have one chance to get it right. And one of my friends, I remember asking him, Are you willing to bet your soul that God has a son? Would you bet your soul on it? Would you guarantee it? Are you really sure, with all of the contradictions in the Bible, with the fact that Allah created Adam first, and if anyone had the right to be called son, it was him. So, would you really bet your soul on it? Alhamdulillah.
What was his answer? Was he hesitating?
No answer. And this was the answer.
Because he knew the answer from deeply that that you are right.
Yes. The fact that he gave no answer was the answer. Sometimes people are stricken at the moment of the realization that they were going in the wrong way for so long, and then they have to come to terms with the fact that my parents were not telling me the truth. They told me about Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and all of these different things. And then they said, oh my gosh, it's not true, none of it's true. And then they come to the realization and then it comes to the acceptance. And with the acceptance, alhamdulillah, this is when many people, they start deciding for themselves that I can't take a chance.
Are all your friends Christian or from any other religion?
Some, at the time, not now, but at the time, some of my friends were Buddhists. Others, vast majority were Christians. I had some friends from Laos and Cambodia back in high school. And alhamdulillah, some of them, they did become Muslim.
Sometimes when you have a conversation with a friend or a non-Muslim, you try to, not to answer his question, but at least to ask questions that will have him like asking himself a very important question, like what am I going to do in my life? Is there something, a life after this? I mean, these questions would, change his life and give him some kind of a turning point in his life. Don't you think this is the deal that you have?
I definitely agree with you, yes. And once again, it depends on who you're dealing with.
Of course. Of course.
It depends on who you're dealing with. For some people, they need direct, straight answers. They need direct answers. Some people, they're really looking for answers. Especially as young Americans in the realm of adolescence, we don't know our heads from our tails most of the time. And we're looking for some direction. And sometimes our parents, they're not guiding us in a clear way. And alhamdulillah, I've never ever had a question that Islam couldn't answer. And no one's ever asked me a question that Islam couldn't answer. Alhamdulillah. But in regards to making provocative questions into one's creed as to what they believe in the hereafter, yes, it does prove quite effective if the person is a thinker.
Okay, let's go back to the media and the channels around the world. How can we use the media in order to protect our religion, protect Islam from all the allegations of that were said about Islam, about terrorism and stuff like that?
The first thing is that the people should stand close to the scholars to get their education. And those people that should be close especially are the young people. So that way the gap between the youth and the elders are not broken. And this is the first way. Second way, in regards to the media must show the clear differences between someone who is a straight Muslim and someone who has aspects of hypocrisy. and someone who is a Sufi, someone who is a Brahmi, someone who is Shi'i. We must make clear differences, clear distinctions as to who is who and what's going on. Many people, even here in Saudi, they're not Muslim. They don't know the differences. And it creates major misunderstandings. Many people don't know the difference between Islam and regional cultures. They believe that many aspects of some regional cultures is the religion. Our job should be to clarify these matters, so that way the people can say for themselves, why are you doing that? A Muslim is not supposed to do that. I remember one time my mother, she had a friend from Sierra Leone, and my mother's friend's husband happened to be a drinker. And my mother said, why are you doing that? Why are you drinking alcohol? He said, it's okay, I'm not fasting. And my mother said, my son is a Muslim. You would never do that. So why are you doing it? Once a person knows what Islam is, they know what Islam is not. And that is the bottom line. Many of the people don't know what Islam is, and we allow people who are unqualified to propagate and defend the religion at the same time. So it's up to those who are qualified, who have strong knowledge, to come to the forefront and really push the true image of Islam, our morals, our ethics, so that way the people know the difference.
Okay, that's really wonderful. Let's talk about the celebrities in the U.S. and celebrities. I mean, the Muslim celebrities like Mike Tyson, like Muhammad Ali, like of course Icon, like the Jeremy Jackson. I think his name is Jeremy Jackson.
You mean Michael Jackson? Oh, and Jermaine,
his brother. Yes. Do you think that these celebrities have to play a very important role in order to encourage people and to give the people an idea about Islam?
Honestly, we must remember, they're still normal people. And many people in the West who become celebrities don't consider the responsibility of being in the spotlight. This is something that we really have to keep in mind, that they're normal people. And the focus really should not be on them too much unless they've made the effort to at least study some aspects of the basic creed of Islam. And when they've taken an ijazah or permission from a scholar to speak about a certain aspect of Islam, then yes. But in general, there are normal people that are caught within the wave of the media and the life of glitz and glamour. And they're susceptible, just like any other person, to falling into the pitfalls of these things.
So you think that, because sometimes, people when they admire the singers, the actors, sometimes they want to imitate them in every move and every thing they do. So through imitation, it can lead to